Before getting into the video, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a video.
In this video, we will talk about loops. Now, what are loops? Suppose we have a particular statement and we wish to execute the same statement more than one time. Let's say 10 times. Suppose we have to print hello world 10 times. So, are we going to write print hello world every time? No. Here we use loops. Now, basically, there are two types of loop in Python, the while loop and for loop. Let us see how we use this while loop in a Python program. Let's say we have some variable I whose value is 1. So I equal to 1. Now we wish to print all the numbers from 1 to 5. So the loop must execute in a way that it takes the first variable and then add 1 to it and print the number, and then again take the previous value and again increment it by 1 and then print it. So this has to be done multiple times. We will write while I less than 6 because we have to print it up to 5. So you can either write while I is less than equal to 5 or you can write 6. So print I, then in the next statement we have to increment it by 1. So we will write I plus equal to 1, which is equal to I equal to I plus 1. Now let us try to run this program, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the output. So this particular block is running 6 times, as it will check the condition until it is true and then execute the following statements. Let us try to print hello world 10 times. So what we will do, we'll again initialize a variable I equal to 1. Then in the next statement we'll write while I is less than equal to 10 colon, then we have to print hello world. So we'll write print inside the double quotes, write hello world, and in the next statement I plus equal to 1. Let us execute this program and see what is the output. So here we have 10 times hello world written on our screen. Basically, how this particular code is working, see, we have first of all I equal to 1. So our condition for while loop is I should be less than equal to 10. Since 1 is less than equal to 10, the condition is true, hence the while block will be executed. So it will print hello world, and then it will come to the next statement, that is I equal to I plus 1. So it will increment the value of I by 1. So now the value of I is 2, and then it will again check whether the condition is true since 2 is less than 10. So it will print hello world, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10. Thus it will print hello world 10 times. But when I is equals to 10, let us see why it stops at I equal to 10. So when we have I equal to 10, then the value will be I is less than equal to 10. Yeah, that is true. Now it will print hello world, and the value of I will be 10 plus 1. Okay, now the value is 11. So it will again check whether the value is less than equal to 10. Now I is 11 and 11 is not equal to or less than 10. Thus the condition is false and the while block will not be further executed, and thus it stops here, thus printing 10 values and not 11. Let us try to write another program that prints the sum of some numbers. Let us say we have to print the sum of numbers from 1 to 10. Let us take a variable, say total, whose value is initialized to 0, and then we have I, whose value is initialized to 1. Now while I is less than equal to 10 colon, total will be equal to total plus I, and then I equal to I plus 1. So what will happen here is First of all, total will have the value 0 and I will have 1. So it will check for the condition I is less than equal to 10. Since 1 is less than 10, thus the condition is true and the while block will be executed. So now total equal to total plus I, that is 0 plus 1. So which will be equal to 1. Value of total here is 1 and I is I plus 1. That is value of I will be 1 plus 1, I will be 2. So value of total here is 1 and value of I is 2. In the second iteration, it will have the value of total as 1 and I is 2. Since 2 is less than 10, again the code will be executed and then the value of total will be total equal to previous value of total was 1. So in the variable total we have the value 1. So 1 plus value of I was 2. So 1 plus 2 which is equal to 3. And now again the value will be incremented. Value of I will be 2 plus 1 which is equal to 3. Since 3 is less than 10, the while block will again get executed. This loop will continue until the condition is true. So when it reaches 10, it will have some value of total and the value of I will be incremented to 11. Then it will again check the condition. This time the value of I will be 11 and since 11 is not less than or equal to 10, thus this condition become false and the while loop will not be executed further. Hence the sum of the numbers from 1 to 10 will be printed and we get the sum as 55. So that was the program which we wrote to print the sum of 1 to 10 numbers. Similarly, you can print the sum from 1 to 20 by replacing I is less than equal to 10 from 10 to 20. Now let us know something about the infinite loop. A loop becomes infinite loop if a condition never becomes false. So where are these infinite loop useful? These can be used in client server programming where the server needs to run continuously so that client program can communicate with it as and when required. So what will happen in this infinite loop is we will write a condition that will never become false and thus the block will continue to execute. It won't stop until the occurrence of an interruption in the code. Let us see a simple example of this infinite loop. We have I equal to 0 and a condition while I is less than equal to 10. We have to print hello. Since I equal to 0 and 0 is always less than 10, thus this condition will never become false and it will execute an infinite loop. When we run this code, it is giving us more than 10 times hello printed on our screen. So we can create an interruption by pressing Ctrl plus C. Maybe it works in your computer or not. You can check for other interruptions too on Google. So what happens here is the condition is not becoming false and thus it will continue to execute in an infinite loop. So how can we create the condition false? We can either simply write I equal to I plus 1. So once it reaches the value 10, it won't execute further. An alternative code that is much simpler than this infinite code is you simply write while and type true and then print a statement. Let's say we wish to print printed. So this will be an infinite loop again because the condition is never becoming false and thus it will have an infinite times of execution.
If you like this video, hit the like button. Thank you.